everyone. Welcome to Amazing Plantz4mationz. And in your amazing Plantz4mation journeys, you're going to want some sweets. We all know it, right? And that's one of the tough things here that we've all had to deal with. So I just wanted to welcome everyone to the show, especially if you are an ice cream enthusiast, as many of us are. So get ready to scoop some delicious insights. That's what I'll say as we dive into the world of vegan frozen delights. And we have a conversation, exciting conversation with Kathy and Cheryl, Kathy Hester, as they unveil the secrets behind their latest ebook on healthy vegan ice cream. From creamy concoctions to fruity favorites, this discussion promises to be a sweet treat for your taste buds. So, Kathy, if you don't know and you're new here, is a dedicated advocate for accessible and delicious healthy eating. Her recipes are whole food, plant-based, and free from oil, with alternatives available to accommodate dietary restrictions and allergies. She manages popular food blogs like Plant-Based Instant Pot and Healthy Slow Cooking. You can find her sharing cooking tutorials and recipes on YouTube. Join her private Facebook group or follow her on Instagram for more inspiration, and explore her bundle of 5 cooking classes featuring recipes to elevate your plant-based cooking skills. And also Cheryl and her both have their own healthy healing journeys. And I'm Veganology JJ, if hopefully you know me if you're here, but I've had my own healing journey as I started this 5 years ago, going plant-based, reversing health conditions. And that's why I'm passionate to bring, transformational stories and experts like these two in the vegan cooking world to you. And thank you everyone who is here. Oh, look at this. We have all kinds of people. Thank you. Hi, Mona, Doll, Kitty Mommy. I've got my little kitties in there sleeping. Doll, is it Doll Joe? Roberta, Justine. You guys are amazing. Beth, sorry if I'm missing anybody. Denise, Shelly, Bill, Jill, Lies, thank you all for being here. Justine, I'll continue to read your questions throughout. Is that the King's Child's X and Robin Bennett? I didn't know it was going to be that many people. I probably to support you because I already started and I didn't want to leave anybody out. But thank you so much. Returning guests to the stream, Kathy and Cheryl, thank you.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. Yeah. And I keep saying, I sent out an email last night and I'm like, my brain now is 75% Ninja Creami.
It's true. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming back on again. I know we got into your journey last time. Of course, now we want to have some.
It's okay.
The firemen want to come see what's going on.
I'll make fireman ice cream too.
I just want to we want to get into the ice cream demonstration. Thank you so much. I know you have a new ebook that we're going to talk about. Hey, J&J Video Reacts, Dawn. She said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash the like button. We miss you, Dawn. Hopefully you can pop in. She had to stop looking at the thumbnail with the ice creams. It made her so hungry last night because we were going to have to find some vegan ice cream. So thank you so much for joining. If you want to just start out, just in case I have new people here that are watching the replay, tell us a little bit about yourself or your journey, what we didn't cover, if you'd like, and then how you develop this vegan world legend, become this vegan cooking legend.
I don't know that I would define it that way. I've written some books and recipes, and I love helping people realize that whatever dietary limitations they may have or journey they may be on, that you can still eat delicious food. And I think that's really important. I think sometimes the mismessage we get out in the world is you can only have plain potatoes, or you can only eat this, or you can and no, whole food, plant-based, no oil is a big world. Even for people who, like, we're following Dr. McDougall's starch solution right now, and maybe you're following Dr. Greger, and so you might eat more nuts than we do. Still, the whole food, plant-based, no oil instead of thinking of it being a limitation, think
Mhm.
of it being like this little spyglass that you're looking out at to get all these beautiful ideas and colorful food. And it can be raw food, it can be cooked food. I mean, obviously, depending on what your path is leading you towards. But there's so much more. If you're new, please know that if you find maybe you don't like my recipes, that's okay. There's a lot of people out here.
Who wouldn't like your recipes? Let's be honest now. Come on, I've heard enough reviews. Look at all these people that have showed up because they love your recipes. I
Well,
love how modest you both are, though.
I do my best, but people on the internets are not shy to tell you they don't like something.
It's true.
I bet they didn't do it right. I'm just kidding.
Sometimes they change everything and then they're mad at me.
Well, we all have our own taste. That's why we, but of all the recipes I've seen, there is definitely a good percentage of them they're going to like. Maybe some of them might have an ingredient they don't, care for, but that's probably the way that you're able to take flavors and make comfort foods is amazing. Like, especially like for people who aren't the best at cooking or haven't had it's the recipes, you present them in a simpler way that aren't like 9 million ingredients and things that people can't make. And I love that about your cookbooks.
Cheryl's trying to see what Max is begging for because Max is having a fit. So I'm sure you guys can hear him.
We love Max.
Oh, Max is delightful, and he's also an old man now who wants his way.
Yes.
So there you go.
I have 2 cats, and whether they're old or young, they rule me.
I think animals rule the house just as much as anything else.
Yeah.
So kind of the way we've come, I've written some cookbooks, I have some blogs, I have stuff. So if you want to go find some free information, it's out there. If you want to learn about Ninja Creami, more about it, you can go to healthyslowcooking.com. I've got recipes, troubleshooting posts. You can go to YouTube. You can just search Kathy Hester. And I've got a bunch of how-tos on how to do that as well. So,
and also all of that is in the description. You can link right over to her. I put all your links in there. Is that where it is? I never know where to point. I see people doing that.
If it's on YouTube, it should be down that way. But
yeah, right. If you're watching it somewhere else, it might be all over. Yeah, but you can find them in the description. And also, if you have questions, please put them in there. We'll try to get those in. The other thing I wanted to say is if you also wanted to watch her last interview, I'll link that in the description too, right after the stream. So that's where we went a little bit more into a lot of the like the health journey that you and Cheryl have been on and how you got started. If we don't have time to cover it today, because I know we got to get to the ice cream, right?
Right. And I want to, some people are not going to know what a Ninja Creami is.
Perfect.
And so I think we just, we'll start there. So kind of how I'm thinking of running this is let's talk about Ninja Creami. We'll talk about the 2 models available. I'm going to show you how to spin an already made pint of ice cream that I got out of the freezer.
Okay.
Then at the end, we're going to make some recipes. That way we'll have kind of the most important stuff out of the way. And you'll kind of know if you want to watch the whole thing, right? So the Ninja Creami is actually kind of like a Paco Jet, which no home cook has ever heard of. So a Paco Jet is an appliance that Michelin star restaurants use to make ice creams and pâtés and things like that.
Oh, wow.
The entry level price is $5,000. That's the cheapest one.
Ooh.
So what happened is their patent ran out 2 years ago. It might be 3 years ago now. And so Ninja created basically a home user Paco Jet. So what happens is once this is in here, there's a rod that goes all the way up in here, and the rod comes down. There's a little magnet, and then there's this blade that spins around. And so it'll spin down, and it kind of shaves your frozen mixture. So it's different. People always say, can I make your recipes in a regular, like churning ice cream maker or the Cuisinart one that you put in the freezer. No, it's not going to work. And the reason I think the Ninja Creami is the best thing to happen to frozen desserts for the whole food plant-based community is I even had a fancy one with a compressor, and I used it twice because what happens is you churn up that no oil, no fat, no sugar ice cream, and it doesn't harden very much. You put it in the freezer, that it's hard as a rock and you can't scoop it, right? So it's very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing people use, and again, if you love these things, if you like the recipes you're using in them, enjoy yourself. This may or may not be for you, and that's okay. I'm telling you what I think and why I like it. So with the Yonana, I had two Yonanas. I had the cheap Yonana, and then I found the fancy Yonana at the thrift store. And I didn't like cleaning it. I feel like cleaning was a real pain. Honestly, that's what I don't like. Could you make it colder in here while you're over there?
Sure. I think juicers and some things that's the difficulty for most people not wanting to pull them out because of the cleaning.
Exactly. And well, what would happen is I'd use my Yonana and then I'd clean it really good and I'd put it away for the winter and I'd pull it out and stuff is always growing on it.
Ooh.
So that's a me problem. And if you're not having that problem, the Yonana could be for you. I can make more in different mixtures. Honestly, you could make any of the recipes from the new, which I am creatively not calling it, the whole food plant-based Ninja Creami e-cookbook too. Maybe it'll have a fancy name someday, but probably not at this.
The sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Part 2. Mona says she's not seeing anything, but Mona, you're here. Maybe try and refresh your computer or something.
Yeah, because we go out and come back. Yeah, maybe try closing it out and open it up. I know. Let me just make sure I'm going to go off camera a second and grab my phone that I left in the other room by mistake, so I can make sure it's on YouTube too, just to double check.
Well, it has to be if they're making comments.
Oh, that's true. Unless that's true. Probably something going on with the phone there.
Let's see. I can wait a second because we can start back on.
Oh, okay. Muriel says she sees us, so it looked like.
Yay!
I'm sorry.
Okay, good.
No, then it was her. Okay, we're good.
I don't have to repeat any of this then. So what's kind of cool about I was going to say the Yonana. So you could take these recipes in this ebook or the first ebook, freeze it in ice cube trays, let it thaw a little bit, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how hot your kitchen is. Put it through a Yonana, put it in a blender or food processor like you would in ice cream. Depending on the mixture is how long you'll have to let it soften up. And it's not going to be scoopable like this will be. So some people complain that you have to freeze it for 24 hours. But here's the thing, especially if you go and get it on QVC, Costco, Sam's Club, you get extra pints instead of 2. You probably have 3 or 4. And that way you have extra things. So I usually you could make a week's worth of smoothies and put them all in the freezer and then make your little smoothie bowls. So you can do smoothie bowls. You can do like faux frappuccinos, all different kinds of stuff. And in the ebook too, the thing that I'm really focusing on is using whole food plant-based thickeners. And so if you look in a lot of the vegan groups or past the vegan groups, there's lots of people using pudding mix and guar gum and tarragon and all these different things. But you know what works amazing? Cooked white sweet potato adds no flavor.
Wow.
Right? I use a lot of okara, and actually, can you hand me that? And okara, for those of you who have not been hearing me talk about okara constantly, it's the pulp from soy milk. So I just made a batch of soy milk. And I'll show you the top. The lighting is not going to be super great for that, but yeah. So if I scooped it up, you can see it a little bit more here. It's literally the pulp I'm straining from making soy milk. And then I just keep my soy milk in this. You can freeze okara, so you can make, if you go to healthyslowcooking.com, I have all kinds of recipes, and probably next year I'm going to have an okara, possibly an okara and nut milk pulp cookbook, but we'll see. It just depends. There's another book that's coming before that.
You've been such a busy lady. Thank you for putting all this content out and taking the time to come on and do a live stream with us. We appreciate it. And thank you for those of you all here. I know Muriel and came in, and Diana. So thank you. And Roberta, thank you. She's asking, we have okara in Hawaii. She loves it. Awesome.
So Roberta, where do you get your okara? Because some people, I make mine, so I use a Miomat milk maker. You can make it on the stove the old-fashioned way. Cook your soybeans, strain it. That's still okara. I'm lazy, so I use a Miomat. And I made 2 batches this morning, so that's also why that. But I would love to know, because I told a few people to maybe try going to an Asian market that sells fresh soy milks. There's one that does that here on the weekends, and see if you could talk to the maker about getting some okara. But don't use dried okara. That's not good.
I've never heard of the word okara. That's my first time hearing it. Awesome.
It's the Japanese word for soy milk pulp, and it's used traditionally in Japan for several recipes, but it's great to put in mashed potatoes. You can put it in veggie burgers. You can do so much stuff with it. I make ricotta with it, and there's a recipe on healthyslowcooking.com with a little lactic acid, a little nutritional yeast, and a little salt if you use salt. If not, leave it out. And literally, Cheryl's like, "Oh, I want you to make okara, but I don't want you to bother you." And I'm like, seriously, this is the least amount of effort I could put into anything ever. For a little bit.
That's awesome. I love that you have a taste tester right there to tell you if it's good.
Exactly. Right? Now, if you guys okay, so Roberta said,
I'll put it up.
KCA supermarket and the factory. Ooh, you get it from the factory. That's exciting. If you guys have some questions, these are both models. This has a lot of fancy buttons and stuff. This is the deluxe. It has, will you hand me one of those pints? It has a 3-cup pint. This is a 2-cup pint for the original or the breeze. And to me, that's the only reason you get the deluxe over this, is if you want to have 3 cups at a time instead of 2 cups. Or you find this one cheap, or more containers with it for a better price than you find this. So there's no bad thing. You can make creamy chinos with this. You can make slushies. You can do all the same things. They don't have special buttons for it, but you can make it. Just like you don't need a cake button on your Instant Pot to make a cake in your Instant Pot, right? You just need to know how to do it. And I'm telling you, and I already have a video up about how to make a slushie in here. And I did on my show with Chef AJ, we did a couple of things like that too. I think we did a creamy chino and a pear sweetened strawberry slushie, right?
That sounds good.
So I'm just going to kind of show you. Can you move that one back for me?
And just to answer this one too, the King's, I always get this name, King's Child SX. The recipes will be available on the replay too, if you need to.
And yeah, the recipes, I'm just showing some very simple things, and I'm just going to see how much time we have left about what we're going to do. Maybe just like a Dole Whip. We might do a Thai tea and talk about a couple of things. So it's not going to be a complicated recipes, but if you want to get my new recipes, be sure to look down below and order the new ebook through Vegan Knowledge's link. So that way she gets a little affiliate, and you will get a free class. So for everybody who pre-orders, I'm doing a free class. I'm going to pick the date in June. So my classes usually cost $35 each. The book is $24.99. The math works out at buy the book.
Right. Buy the book.
Easy. And then
they didn't run because of my bad puns last time, so I can say it again.
No, Cheryl loves some puns. So, and also since more recipes are happening, last night I had a little epiphany and made 10 more recipes. So it's going to be bigger. So probably June 1st, the price of the book is going to go up because it's supposed to be this many photos and recipe testing. So
You
let's
would
just
want to pay extra if you knew how much work that she's put into this book. Trust me, you should have a little gratuity line on there.
I'm only working 12 to 14 hours a day the next 2 weeks. So this is one of the recipes from the book. And let me just, so it's a little bit warm in here. It's been sitting out. The first thing I always do, and usually I just leave my little lid somewhere. Let's see, this is come down just a little bit more. There we go. And I just level it out. So see, it's hard. It looks like it's not hard, but that's because I spun it yesterday when I took a picture of it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I have some weak wrists, so we just want to make this as level as possible. You don't have to be quite as, OCD as I am. I get excited and then Cheryl says, stop it.
I do the same thing.
And then this is a really important thing. The first thing to do now is to taste what's on the spoon. Oh, now you're going to take all of it.
And this is one you've already had frozen, right?
Mm-hmm. This has been frozen for at least 24 hours.
I think it's pretty good.
It's the corn cinnamon. So actually, and this is in the new book, it's using frozen corn, or you could use steamed fresh corn, cinnamon.
I love corn.
It's really good, and corn ice cream is quite nice, and it's beautiful with cinnamon. So when you have this, there are little holes here and little not holes. Thank you, nubs.
Nubs.
And so I sit it down. It doesn't always sit the right place. And so I put it down and I twist. That way I know it's in there. Let me take this out and I'll show you how to put this together. So this way, if anybody hasn't used it before, I'm still getting used to this, where this camera is. So there's a little thing here. And what happens is this opens. See those little things?
Oh, yeah.
So you hold it open and you drop this in and you close it. And it's in there good, but it's going to move around a lot. Because what happens, this has a magnet. So when the steel rod comes down, it takes it away from there. So it always concerns people that it moves. Okay, so then we've got this here. That's our angle aligner. So there's that, and there's this here. Have I messed that up? Nope. There we go. Get that on, and then it clicks. Okay. And let's see. I think this will be a good angle. Sorry, you're going to see other cameras and stuff, but okay. So there's a button here for when we're releasing it. It tells you kind of hold and twist to release the bowl installation. So for original, you just kind of sit it in here with this facing front. We're going to turn it on. As soon as you turn it on, the install light is going to blink because it's not installed. It's going, dude, come on, get with the program. And so then when you turn it up here, it locks in. Then all of these light up. I'm going to, almost always, we're going to use light ice cream or sorbet. That is just, our whole food mixtures are more dense and things like that. So I'm going to press light ice cream. It's going to get loud, so if you want to mute me until this is done, I'm going to then put it to the other camera so you can see the blade is going to come down and you'll see some of that happen.
That's not too bad. Do you guys want me to keep it muted, or do you want to hear it? Let me know in the comments. It's up to you. It doesn't sound loud on my end, but I don't want to hurt your ears. And I put the link also in the description, in the comments for you, those who are excited to order or need to save it. While she's blending, thank you so much to everyone new here who subscribed. I really appreciate you, and thank you for joining to support Kathy and Cheryl and support Kathy's ebook. I know we had some new people pop in that I probably haven't mentioned. I know from Veganology Group, we have Michelle, welcome, Muriel, Diana, Mona, and then Jill is here. I see her on the Chef AJ live streams, and everyone else that I mentioned in the beginning. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Susan, welcome. She said it's not loud for her. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it doesn't sound that loud. When it first started, it did, so I muted it, but I love this. So we are watching a frozen treat in the making. I'm excited. And just if you're just joining, this is one that was already frozen. She's showing us how to make it creamy and ready to eat again. And then she's going to do some recipes to help us make ice cream. I've been telling everyone I know that has kids too, because I know, especially getting a little bit louder. This is great, healthy ice cream for kids too, and us adults who like ice cream. Hi from Phoenix, Valerie, welcome. Thank you for joining in. And it's amazing the flavors, that she used, or the ingredients, they're healthy for us and they're going to taste great. Like, I never thought about using corn for ice cream or sweet potato. This is really cool. I was just running my mouth while the blender was going.
That's great.
It wasn't loud, so I couldn't help myself. I was excited about the ice cream.
So it's loud. Let's just be real.
Oh, there's we making an appearance. Max is on.
Oh, is he? Hi, Max. Come here.
He said ice cream's cooking.
Come here. Look up.
Hey,
Can you look over there? There you sort of see his little whiny head.
It's so beautiful.
He really is, for his strange little muffin self. So one of the things I want you to see is that it's not as creamy as you expect. It's pretty daggone creamy. It just needs a respin. Sometimes there'll be no creaminess even like that. It'll all look like this middle, like little dots. And what that means is easy. It's easy. So everyone, like in all the Facebook groups I go into, everyone's like, it doesn't work. It's just dots. It's just crumbly. It's just dry. That's why there's a respin button. So what happens if it's really, really, really cold, it either needs to melt a little. So if your freezer is very cold, you might need to leave it out for 5 to 10 minutes before you spin it. Another thing is maybe the mixture's a little dry. You can add a couple of tablespoons of non-dairy milk of your choice and then do respin. This probably will do respin, but I'm going to go ahead and put about a tablespoon, just a little bit. If you put too much, it'll just be a little softer serving. Sometimes you'll get ice walls around, so you can see this time everything was pretty solid because it came out of the downstairs freezer.
That's amazing, because my freezer is so like I would make if I made a banana walnut smoothie, even I put it in the freezer for 5 minutes, it's like too hard. I'd have to leave it out, and then it never gets back to that same consistency. So I love this machine.
Right, because you could use your smoothie recipe. So if you look at the book, it'll say
trust me, I'd rather use yours.
No, I'm sure your smoothie. So everybody, your favorite smoothie recipe, if it has a banana, sweet potatoes, at least a half a cup of fruit, like thick fruit, you can use it. So what we're tricking it, so to not break the machine, they're saying use sugar and fat, because that way the mixture doesn't freeze as hard. We're using things like sweet potato, okara, rice cauliflower, all of those corn.
Cauliflower too. This is amazing.
Yeah, you can do cauliflower. Zucchini's a little icier, but you could use that in a sorbet. There's just so many things. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm just going to respin it. It won't take quite as long, but it'll still be loud, but not quite as loud.
It's not too bad. It's good for us to hear what it is.
Yeah, we're not really seeing anything because it would be better if I had left it out a little bit or done some stuff like that, but it'll be fine.
You know, I've never been able to get things to taste like ice cream, like no matter what I've tried. So I'm excited for this book because it's like it's always something missing there. And I'm excited because I'm majority raw vegan, so I'm sure I saw some fruit recipes in there.
If you're asking me a question, I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
I'm telling them I'm excited
Okay,
about the recipes.
That's the only bad part about doing these demos.
I know, it's okay though.
It's soon. It's almost done.
I love seeing it live, don't you guys? It's good than just hearing about the book and not seeing it in action, because I've never used one of these before. I've got to order mine.
And I think it's really important that people can kind of see what's what, and know what they're trying to get into. Okay. This still probably could use a little bit more. But see, what you can do too is see how if I do this, I can see it's pretty creamy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it starting. And what was in this one again? I'm sorry if you mentioned it. I might have been.
It's got corn and cinnamon, non-dairy milk. I can't remember if I put sweet potato or okara in this. It might be okara.
That's really cool how it actually turned into that like delicious looking cream there from what you've used. And okara, that was the pulp, soy pulp that you can just buy, right? You don't have to create it.
You've got to look at the camera and do. Cheryl can't use Google Maps because she
goes the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that we did change where this camera is, but she doesn't look at the camera and then look at what it's showing.
I got
with Google Maps, she's always like, I don't see where it told me to do this. I'm like, yeah, but you've got to look at the little map on the thing. But I don't know where anything is if the lady doesn't tell me. So even with this, if I was serving this at a fancy dinner party, I probably would spin it one more time. But this,
I wouldn't, because if you spin it one more time, then it's just going to be like a milkshake.
Not necessarily. It just would be a slightly less.
So you could do how they have the soft serve and the other one that they serve at ice cream shops. You could, I guess, whichever one you like, you could keep it spinning to make it creamier, right?
You could, but I think one of the benefits is having this be scoopable because there's no oil-free scoopable ice cream.
That's true.
And here's the other thing. I can have this one scoop perfectly the way I want it. Mm-hmm. Then I can take this. I can level it back out. Max, that's a phone.
That was poor Max. I should have muted myself.
Oh, no, things happen. So what I'm doing is I'm leveling this back out, and I'll just put the lid back on, pop it in the freezer, and then I will have, again, the perfect scoop of ice cream when I'm ready to use it again. So I can just keep spinning this over and over again, even to when it's just like about a quarter of a container. So for whole food plant-based ice cream, that's magical because that means we get the right consistency, just like you were talking about your smoothie.
Mm-hmm. And
happy breakfast.
I was thinking the same thing. She said, or he said, I love the bowl.
Oh yeah, you guys know I'm all in on Halloween.
I know. I saw another picture. I think it was on Instagram where you had something Halloween already. I'm like, she is ready. We haven't even gotten through spring yet.
It's Halloween every day around here.
I love it.
And our water glasses. have Halloween
Oh, I
stuff.
love it. And who would just be able to have one scoop of that? I don't know. I wanted to scoop a little extra for myself. Hey, Boomer and Beyond Wellness, thank you.
Oh, hey.
Lauderdale. I want to thank Angela. Please visit her channel too because she referred me over to you ladies. I had seen you before on, I think, like a long time ago. So I knew you were familiar, but I was like, wow, do you think they would come on my small channel? And you guys were so blessed
Of
with
course.
your arrival. Can you use powdered okara for sale online? Shelly wants to know. Good
I would
question.
say no, not in the way that I'm doing it. You, I'm just going to say no. Do I know exactly? But I wouldn't be using it. Because here's the thing, if you reconstitute it, you can try it, but I don't know if it's going to blend well and get smooth and thicken things up the way I'm expecting it to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because this stuff is thick.
It's real, like,
This
yeah.
stuff is like thick,
ice cream.
like almost like ricotta cheese thick.
Yeah, I mean, it really does not even look like ricotta already.
Oh, that's what the okara looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like milk. I see what you're saying. It's the
No,
pulp.
it's like if you make almond milk, you know, you strain the pulp out.
Yes.
It's the same thing, but if you make soy milk, you strain the pulp out. And
It's
that's what that is.
the store made my soy milk for me, so I didn't know that.
And nobody
I
does.
assumed
And
there was soy in it somewhere, right?
I made soy milk some during the pandemic.
Mhm.
I wasn't using okara in anything then. And then last year, I started trying out all the milk makers to give some good reviews because I was looking and I found no good reviews. And that's when I started doing more with okara because I had so much of it.
And how did you come across the have you been using the Ninja for a while? When did you say that came out? Is it
I think it was 3 years ago, and I've been using it about since it came out, at least within those 6 months. So I was playing around with it, and then I did the Ninja Creami Experience in Ebook 2 in 2022. Ebook 1 in 2022. Yeah. Too many numbers. And so I've been using it. And so the first ebook is very different than this ebook. They're both great. This one is definitely more whole food, plant-based. There's going to be a little section with nuts, but nuts aren't used in the general mixes. But of course, if we're making butter pecan and maple walnut.
Oh my gosh, butter pecan, you have that on there?
Yeah, actually, Jill Dalton is putting her recipe in for butter pecan, which is amazing.
Nice.
But yeah, there will be, and I'm still organizing
that ice cream so much. You're just making my whole life better right this minute. And I know Dawn does too. Like sometimes you can't find good vegan ice cream, and you can, but it's really
It's so hard. Like you scrape it out of the container, you can't even like scoop it. It's just like
store-bought vegan ice cream is full of fat.
Mm-hmm.
It's got coconut fat. Sometimes it's coconut oil. Sometimes it's lots of oil. So if you're a no oil person, I haven't found anything except for sorbets. I've not found any ice creams, and the sorbets have sugar. So if you're SOS, if you don't do sugar, salt, or oil, there's no choices. And so for me, it's really important to bring choices that can help people.
Yeah,
and these are really delicious, and these are recipes you can eat for breakfast.
And just to, tell everyone too, Dominique, that's okay because we haven't even gotten to one of the first. This is just, we're just reconstituting the ice cream that was made. So you're just in time. And also the link is in the comments here. I'll post it. I'll pin it to the top if you want to pre-order the ebook. And she has a special bonus with it. And also the actual blender or the Ninja, is it Creami? Is that?
Yeah, it's a Ninja Creami, and it's not a blender; it's an ice cream machine.
Ice cream maker. See,
Ninja makes blenders.
Ninja. I thought I was saying it like how some things have a French thing. I was like, is it Creme or something? Am I saying it wrong? Ninja Creami. That's how I wanted to pronounce it.
I just say creamy. If I'm wrong, I don't know. We have another friend who says it differently, but I just
recommend where they can get that. Did you mention just in case someone doesn't have one, they want the book but they don't have it yet?
Yes. So there are 3 places you should look. And honestly, if you want one, looking now is way better than you looking in October, because they're not going to be at many stores and they're almost always out before Christmas. And people are struggling to get them. But they're at Sam's Club right now, the original. The deluxe is at Costco. They have both at QVC. At QVC.com, sometimes they'll have it with 4 containers, which is great because that means you can make a few different mixtures, maybe while you do your meal prep. Then you have a little ice cream to eat all week, and then you can start all over again. Or you can make smoothie bowls.
And it looks like recently, like in the past few weeks, that all those places are having sales on them. Because we're getting people posting in the Heartbeat group about sales that they're seeing and at like Sam's and Costco and Walmart and places like that. And I think Walmart had it for like $159 a couple days ago. So
Well, that's not bad for an ice cream make, especially the price perception at the beginning, knowing that the restaurant version was so like
$5,000, $5,000 to $10,000.
Let me wait for this price. I hope it's not like just a 10% off 5,000, right?
Right. Oh, well, this is just not the Paco Jet. The Paco Jet never goes on sale. That's a whole restaurant equipment thing. This is just the Ninja Creami. Sometimes the deluxe is $250, and I think I've seen the original for $200. That's the highest price I've seen. So you should be kind of shooting for below that. And while you can use dates to sweeten things, I've been using a lot of applesauce and canned pears. So I thought I'd show you how I'm just pureeing this. So if you guys have something, you can also make this stuff into popsicle molds if you just don't want to deal with all the other things. So this is just a 15-ounce can of pear slices and pear juice. The reason I'm using this is that I'm lucky if I can get ripe pears to eat at the right time, much less to make Ninja Creamis all year long. I did see these at Aldi. You know how they all have the mixed cases? They had this and some in heavy, it might have been light syrup, but it was in syrup. So I snuck through and I managed to get a case of these. They were like $1.45, which was pretty reasonable. And this is just my Beast blender, which if you're at Costco, where we are, they're sold out. So these are like $200 small blenders normally, and they come with these little smaller containers. Oh, awesome. Joanne says the Creamy Deluxe is $199.98, which is a good price. And I think it has 4 containers. With the Beast, they mark them down at Costco stores. And so they usually are $200 and people were getting them for like $70.
Yeah, like $69.99 or something.
So cheaper than a small Ninja blender. And this has a 1,000-watt motor. So if you see one, someone said they saw one for $49. And I would say while you're at Costco looking at your Ninja Creami, see if they have any of these left if you need a small blender. This one is magic for making like quinoa crusted pizza or just enough melty vegan cheese to go over a pizza. I was using that a lot. So all that's in here is the juice and the pears, and I just puree it, possibly. So what happens is we get the fiber from the pears, and it actually ends up making it look kind of ice creamy because it's kind of white.
And what was the juice? I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's just pears and pear juice.
And pear juice. Okay. I was overthinking it.
Yeah, and the pears have a pretty neutral flavor. I will say when you use applesauce, the apple can come forward, but if you use a little bit of citrus zest or juice, that kind of takes that away. We've been working on that in the experimentation. So let's see.
That's a great pairing. Okay, I won't keep going with the.
Oh, here we go. I do have 2. I'm like, I keep moving them around. So the first easiest Ninja Creami thing that you should make, and I usually blend everything, and you don't have to, but I even talked Chef AJ into blending hers because it just makes it creamier and saves you some time. But we're going to do this a little bit different. This is just crushed pineapple and juice.
I love it.
There's a line that we want to fill it up to. And I'm going to go just below that. Actually, I'm going to take some of that juice out. I'm just guesstimating. Here's the thing. You could fill it up, and that would work. You could not fill it up, and that will work. It's really pretty easy. Will you hand me my vanilla, the big bottle? So this, I'm just going to go ahead. It's probably going to be about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of non-dairy milk and about a half teaspoon of vanilla. And most people are like, I don't want to be blending anything. Well, there's your chance. This is the one. Hand me, actually, I'll just get the spoon. And I'm just going to mix it around. You want to get it pretty well incorporated. You can always mix things up before, but this is going to taste like Dole Whip. And I don't know if you guys have ever looked at what's actually in vegan Dole Whip. It's shocking.
It's scary to read the labels for most things. I'll be honest. That's why I'm so thankful for chefs like you who tell us how to make healthier versions.
And yeah, it's just one of those things. And see how easy this is? And honestly, you could just put pineapple in it. This makes it taste a little more like fancy. But I have a friend who got Dole Whip mix from Amazon, and it was just this big paragraph of stuff. This is the fancy version right here. You could just have pineapple. We'll freeze it for 24 hours and we'll spin it like we did in the beginning. So if you missed the beginning, you can go and watch it back in the replay, or you can watch me spin a pint over on my YouTube channel. Both will show you. I show it so many times. Okay, so that would be your first pint, which is great. And then
I wanted to say too, a lot of that stuff has to be put all those scary ingredients that we can't pronounce to keep it on the shelf. So making it fresh too, and knowing how to is so important, I feel like.
I really agree too. And so I found this, and this is pretty, it's pretty clean. It does have, that's interesting. It has a little bit of sugar in it, even though it's unsweetened. It's in the caramel syrup. That's such a strange thing.
Might be a natural sugar. Sometimes they have to list them too, maybe.
Yeah, because it says no added sugars.
Yeah. Like when you get fruit sometimes.
It's like organic cane sugar, though.
That's weird.
It is weird. So anyhow, there's nothing really, there's gum arabic, beta carotene.
It must not be
vanilla.
enough to even register in a serving. So
it does say adds a trivial amount of sugar. Okay.
Yeah, see.
But it's got black tea and pandan leaf. I just found this yesterday. Here, I'll show you where you can see it a little bit more.
Nice.
And I do on healthyslowcooking.com, I have a Thai tea where I make it red with beets.
It was turned around. Somehow it looked like Thai was written backwards. So now I'm glad you said the word Thai.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. Interesting.
I'm on a different side on that one than this one.
Yeah.
But we know what it is now.
It's all good. I got it at Sprouts. And so I thought we could use dates to sweeten it. So you just typically a pint, it's to your taste, is about 5 to 7 medjool dates for most people, which is about 10 to 12 deglet dates. So, and I have, smell. It's the pandan leaves. I got to fix my recipe.
That's so good.
I don't have any pandan in mine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. For the original, a pint is actually 2 cups. They call both of these pints, this is a 3-cup pint. And that irritates the bejesus out of me. Because pints are hard enough, pints and quarts and things. So we're working with the original or an actual 2-cup pint. So our ingredients are going to need to kind of add up to that. I'm trying to smell this and see if pear sweetened would probably work. Or would you rather have it sweetened with dates? Dates?
No, I think maybe the pears. Well,
While they're deciding, it was a funny story last time they were on. Something she said, I always bring a date or some dates for Cheryl when we go out in case we need snacks. We were talking about how you can handle being vegan in other settings. And I
the
was like,
emergency
"Wait,
date.
I'm not allowed to bring any other dates.
Yeah,
Right?
my
Emergency dates.
Emergency dates. That's what it was. I was gonna go back and watch that last night, right? Yeah, if she gets hangry, right? We have some emergency dates. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I had to make a joke. It just
different kind of date. All right, so, and actually, I'm going to write this down. I do this on my lives all the time too, but it would be nice, wouldn't it, if somebody asked me? Because I'm going to be tasting and changing it. So you don't have to do this with the recipes, but this is kind of how I develop the recipes, and it's kind of easy. So we're going to start. I was going to get you to take the stuff out. So you want to take.
I don't know. How do I do it?
Okay. I'm going to have to wash my hands anyhow. So you're going to pull the date apart and take that little top part if there's one out and a seed. And I always leave it on the lid so I don't forget where I was. And we want 4 more though, so 5 total. And I was hoping she would do it so I wouldn't have to wash my hands again. But as soon as your hands are sticky from the dates.
And what kind are these again?
These are medjool dates.
Okay.
And so you might use 10 deglets. It's just because medjools are usually fatter. I had some medjools that were tiny, and so I changed what that was. I am going to put in a 1/2 cup of the Thai tea concentrate. We did 5, and I always say 5 to 7 dates. You get frustrated so easy.
I'm not frustrated.
You're making the frustrated noise.
No, I'm not frustrated. You know how I am about touching things with my hand.
I was like this, like especially ever since I was a kid. My mom said as soon as I touched something, I would just be like, "Oh, my hands are sticky." I was done.
And make the noise. Okay, so I want it to be nice and creamy. So I could do about a 1/2 cup of white sweet potato, but I have some fresh okara right here, so I'm going to use that. And so I'm just going to go, a 1/2 cup is about the magic number to make this super creamy, like premium sort of ice cream. See, isn't it awesome to do it that way?
I'm so glad you said it because I would totally have forgot how many
I've forgotten so many times. And so sometimes I'll even have a little bowl, you guys, out there. So I'm putting my okara. This could be sweet potato.
Really the pits.
Yeah. So I can count the pits. And even if it says they're pitted dates, I recommend that you look for the pit because there's going to be one probably in one of them eventually. Okay, so we've got about 1.25 to 1.5 cups in there now. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll start out and I'll put a 1/2 cup of non-dairy milk. I'm using soy because that's what I made. But you could use oat milk. You could use almond milk. You could use whatever milk you like because this is your ice cream. And this would work just as well with chai concentrate. And I actually do a chai kind of frappuccino in the book. And here you can see why you would want to blend everything together, right? Because the okara is going to make it really thick. It's going to get creamier. And then I'm going to taste it and we'll decide if it's sweet enough.
Looks like Thai tea.
Okay. More loud. Sorry, everybody.
Let me know if you guys need me to mute
I
it.
also need my spatula.
That color is looking really tasty already. Like,
and since it is going to shave it, if all the dates aren't perfectly pureed, it's okay.
Okay.
I think you mentioned it earlier. What is that gadget there?
It's the Beast blender. It's a small blender. So this
Okay.
one's pretty thick. So I always take my finger and taste it. You want
Look
to
at
taste
that. You could never make this around me. I'd end up eating the mix before you got it into the
Oh my
thing.
gosh, that's so good.
it? It's really good.
Oh man. It tastes like Thai tea.
It tastes exactly like Thai tea. It doesn't need any more dates, I don't think, at all.
No.
You can taste some of the tannins, and I will not be sorry if this doesn't fill up to the max fill line right here. Let's see if I can get that where you guys can see it better. So see, there's like a little, you still can't see it. There you go. And I have this special handy dandy thing that's just for the Beast, because inside it's got, you can't see that. I'll show you in a minute. That has all these ridges that helps it blend better. And I bought this just on a whim, and then I've just really loved it. I needed to replace my old Ninja blender, my small one. And if you can find it for the same price or cheaper, I highly recommend it. And the two cool things about it, one is that, not yet, almost, no. And see, look how clean, I mean, this thing gets it clean.
Let's see, that is amazing.
Yeah, you can, oh, here, let's get this part out. And then what I'll do is add any extra milk to make it to the max fill line with this pint. If it tasted perfect and like that would make it watered down somehow, then I just wouldn't. It doesn't have to be to the max fill line. And in fact, if you have a deluxe and you want to make this recipe, I would make it just like this. I have to read these. Thank you. And then on here, let me show you, see if you can see it here. So there's a freeze fill drinkable pour in. So if you freeze it to this line, that would be 2 cups. And then you can put in 1 cup of non-dairy milk to this line and make a creamy chino. So we could make a frozen Thai tea. So that would work really well. And if you were going to try and do that in the original, you just spin it on ice cream. Usually if I was going to make it, I would do 2 pints halfway, spin it in light ice cream, then add milk and do it on the milkshake setting. So let me go ahead and add a little bit more milk.
You're going to have us all eating ice cream for lunch.
Well, and here's the thing is that everybody, and I'm just going to mix that in a little bit. So the world is not going to end because I did that. I am going to have to mix it pretty good for a minute. You could blend it again. The mixes don't have to be that thick, but the okara and sweet potato make them thicker. And when they are, it does make it more like a premium, not even vegan ice cream. You know, it reminds me a lot of the texture of Breyer's ice cream when I was growing up.
Oh my, that was my favorite.
And so then again, I'll just put the lid on. And I would also suggest, so I have this little thing of washable labels. This is what I finally landed upon. You could also use masking tape and pen.
I remember, didn't Cheryl used to have to use some kind of gadget to get them off, or labels or something like that? I remember you guys talking about those.
Oh yeah, that's like when
jar
labels. So this, when you put it on, and because I tried using wet erase pens, which were seemed great, but then you pull this out, it came out of the freezer, it gets condensation and immediately melts off.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I'll just take a pen, and so this one will be Dole Whip, and this one will be Thai.
I had never heard of Dole Whip anyway, so I'm glad I wasn't eating it now, knowing what might have been in it, but I just never really knew. I is that like a flavored Cool Whip? I guess is what it was meant to be.
Well, it actually comes from the Dole Pineapple Farm. So it used to be you only got it in Hawaii. But, you know, Disney has a little foot in Hawaii. And so it's at all the Disney parks, Disneyland and there. So
That's where we first had it.
It's one of the things you can get that's vegan there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying, if I'm there and I'm hot, I will eat a Dole Whip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I look at things a little bit like if you're out and it's a vacation and it's a one-time thing,
right?
That's not perfect. But the thing is I can have it, I can probably make, 8 to 10 pints of this at home for us for less than I'd pay for us to have it at Disneyland.
Like one, right? So crazy. It's the same with so many things. That's why, I mean, and then you're lucky because you're able to come home and recreate the flavors in a healthy way. But now you're sharing it with all of us. So now I feel like we're actually like we went to Disney with you, saw you have that, and say I can come up with this, right? And
absolutely. I'm always bringing weird things home from trips to try and recreate.
I keep telling them that, you know, me and Dawn will be happy to be taste testers. All we have to do is have a room. You know, we'll even take, you know, over, what do I have to clean up Max's, you know, clean up his mess, right?
That's a big give right there.
Yeah, I don't think our cats would allow it though, but definitely, you guys make some good stuff over there. It's amazing to watch.
Oh, well, thank you. And Cheryl's bringing, we love tiki tropical things. So we do a lot of mocktails and stuff. So we got this Dole Whip mug. It's a
whippy. A little hole in the back.
So we can make a little faux rum Dole Whip cocktail.
Baby whippy.
This is how you can make vegan food fun. I love watching you guys, how you've embraced this instead of, you know, some people just think they can't have good treats or like something they can get out and comfort food. And it's like, and also the way that you show us how to bulk make things is amazing too. Like, you know, where if you don't have a lot of time, maybe you have to work a lot or, you know, kids, you're not home all day. So you have to have this kind of thing. And that way you don't make bad choices.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is that, and I see that Dominique was saying she just spun some rum raisin and she spelled it RHUM. So I'm thinking she means the 0 proof rum that I'm using, which doesn't have sugar in it, but I don't know. I'm just making a guess.
I was looking at that.
I'm looking at the comments. Raven says the face Cheryl's making while touching those dates is hilarious.
I was like, I didn't want to keep popping them up because I didn't know if it was hiding what you were doing, but I wanted to share that one. That was hilarious.
I have this thing about touching food with my hands, and I've had it ever since I was a kid. I never liked my hands to be really dirty.
But now she eats Ethiopian food like a champ.
But it took me a long time to get there.
It did.
It took me a really long time to get there. And like the only thing that I would ever eat with my hand when I was a kid would be like burgers or sandwiches, hot dogs, things like that were in a bun that was dry.
Right.
Even pizza when I was a kid, I would cut pizza with a fork. And eat pizza.
Me too. That's so funny.
I just didn't like getting my hands there. But now I'm just like,
well, as long as you have a little napkin there, like a kind of wet, you know, so you can wipe off between. I used to wipe off between each bite, like if I was eating something sticky, like some kind of mock, you know.
Dates are hard. You do have to go. Like I have to be there. Like last night, I made 8 pints, and most of them had dates.
Oh,
so it's. You'll be okay.
I'll get used to it.
Do you want to tell them what some of your favorite ice creams are that I've made? I know what your very favorite ice cream is.
I don't know if I know the names of them all, but there was that one that was kind of like a sorbet, like a
blueberry slushy.
I like the blueberry slushy. But there was also like, I don't know if it was a strawberry sorbet or something.
Strawberry pear sorbet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That one was good.
And that recipe is on healthyslowcooking.com. You can get that. It's pear sweetened. So like it uses a can of pears and fresh strawberries. You could use frozen strawberries. You just might have to up the sweetener depending, because some of the frozen strawberries are quite tart.
The smoky vanilla. Oh my gosh, the smoky vanilla is so good.
It's smoky vanilla caramel. So it's sweetened with dates. It's got okara and soy milk in it. My version. You pick what you want. So a whole food plant-based thickener. So yours could be oat milk and sweet potato, right? And it would produce a similar texture and everything. And the smoky comes from Lapsang tea, which is a smoked tea.
Okay.
And I have another where I made apple cinnamon herbal tea and made an ice cream from it. And so it's super creamy and pear sweetened. Yeah. So you can use all of these different things. You can use these wonderful fresh fruits that are coming. Cheryl's favorite is vanilla because she likes to put vegan chocolate on top of it.
Mm-hmm. But like some of like that smoky vanilla though holds its own without needing any chocolate or anything on it. It's really good.
That's big words from Cheryl.
I do like chocolate ice cream a lot. So we've got several different versions of chocolate that I've tried lately.
Yeah, I have a version. Vicky has a version, and Tammy Kramer added a banana fudgesicle to the book, which is really great.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that is amazing. I was like, Dawn loves chocolate and I love chocolate, but I also love vanilla like the same, because like it depended on what mood I was in. And sometimes since I can't decide anything, I'd have chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, like the all three, because I'm like, I don't know which one I'm literally in the mood for. But instead of eating them all together like most people, like I would eat them like one bite at a time instead of that. So it's like, reminds me of how do you eat your Reese's cup, right?
That's funny. And in the old book, I had a banana split ice cream, which was banana ice cream with strawberries and vanilla and cocoa.
Oh, nice. Oh, she said, Brenda, I have to post. She said that was rum extract, Dominic said. Oh my, I cannot wait for the new book. I know. What do we have here left? Not too much longer, right? Maybe like another week or so. Unless we get like 30 more recipes added.
Right. So like as of last night,
let her do number 3 if she tries to go too long. Right?
Yeah. At some point I gotta
cut her off. I gotta cut her off now. She needs to quit making new stuff.
But see, I wouldn't have made this. You would be
but then once she makes it, she's probably like, I gotta share this right now, right? So like,
well, last night she said, "Oh, I just need to make a couple pints." And I said, "Okay." And then hours later, she's still in here. And then she's like, "I'm so exhausted." I'm like, "What did you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I made another 10 pints." And I'm like,
and then I shot a bunch. So yesterday I got up, I shot photos for the book, because all the recipes are going to have a full color photo, because I know you guys like that.
The photos take a long time.
The photos take a long time because
you have to spin it. And then
you have to be matchy, like which background am I going to use? How does that cup?
I love the plating of those ones that you have, like that I shared, just to like give some ideas of what's in there, and they're just so pretty. Like, it's amazing. Mine will never make it out of the container, I guarantee it.
But when I eat it at home, I don't do any of that. Like, so Cheryl gets the nice part. I scoop her half the container in a real bowl, and I just eat it out of the thing. I actually, you can buy little things that go over your pints, like little neoprene sleeves. But a friend of mine, and let me see if I've got it right here. I'll show you. You know how they make things for bowls like this? So I just put mine in here, and I just hold it and eat it. And then I have one less thing to wash up. Come up. You got to come all the way. You got to be in.
You got to come say hi. You got to put your head up there.
I'll move it where you can. No, come on up. He's you can see his tail. So at least you get something.
He's showing he likes all of us because the tail's wagging. Might have been for you too, but we'll humor ourselves and think of everyone here. Max approves of this new book.
Is how old now? I always forget if he's 12 or 13.
He's 13.
So he's an old man, and he's now to the point that he knows he can have whatever he wants whenever he wants it. So,
Yes.
thanks,
Thanks,
Stephanie.
Stephanie. That wasn't. I'm saying thanks like I created the ebook, but they're my guests, so I can say thanks too, right? Thanks for being here, Daphne. I could thank you for that. I was gonna say too, with that, the way that you plated those and everything, and also just making these. This would be. I'm just thinking too. A lot of us are trying to help other people get healthier. Maybe whether it's family members or people that visit or friends that you're trying to, help them eat more plant-based food and they think it can't taste good. These recipes are great for that, to kind of impress somebody and say, oh, you know what, that's not too bad, that tastes like ice cream. And then it's like, yeah, you don't have to give up ice cream. We do eat things that are good over in the vegan world, right? People think we're eating heads of lettuce, like
It's true. No, and if you say, do you want this apple or a vegan apple? No one will pick the vegan apple. It's the same apple, people.
even if it's good, they'll be like, something's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
I don't
wasn't.
know about all that, but
Those apples came out of the same bag.
Right. A vegan apple. I love it.
cranky about? What are you cranky
He is
about?
cranky. I don't know if y'all can hear him
It
grousing
may
around.
be time for, I can't say the word, or there will
Right.
be a meltdown.
Oh, he's
Whenever you
fabulous.
guys have to go, just let me know, because I know Max
in the
is
back.
Oh, so Cheryl's saying our cat came in the back way, is what she thinks. And that he's a little scared of Fergus,
oh,
because Fergus has engineered it to be that way.
I have, like I said, 2 cats. I can guarantee she has him cornered. Her.
Yeah, he won't let him up the stairs. We have 2 boys now, our 2 boys in the house.
Uh-oh.
And Fergus is my first boy kitty in a long time, and he was a stray, and he came up on the deck after we'd been feeding him for about 6 months. It's like, I'm living here now. And so he's been here ever since.
Yeah.
Kathy's photos are gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do my best. I used to be really horrible at it, but I've worked hard.
Those are amazing photos. I love them. Like I said, Dawn couldn't even, she had to put the thing away so that we didn't have to get ice cream at 11 o'clock at night.
And now, vegan pints of ice cream, so the same amount as this, it's like $8 or $9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All food now, not even just to mention vegan food, is crazy. So knowing how to do this stuff is really important. And all of your, recipes that they could check out too, not just this new ebook, but that's the one that I think we're here discussing. But you have plenty of material if you're looking to make dinner, and then ice cream. Kathy has you covered, right?
Absolutely. And I am kind of a little bit of an appliance wizard, or actually whisperer.
I saw that on your
Whisper.
Instagram. I love it.
And I know the Ninja Creami is kind of an expensive appliance. And so I want, if you're on a really tight budget, every once in a while you might see one. I haven't been seeing them at the thrift store yet. But you could also look on Facebook Marketplace. And then when you go to Amazon.com on your laptop, click the drop down where it says books, go to Amazon Warehouse, and oftentimes you can get a return cheaper.
Oh, okay.
And I think if you're going to use, because I don't want you to get it and not use it and leave it in the box. If you're going to do that, I'd rather you just not get it. Mm-hmm. What I want you to do is get it and use it, because you only have to make 15 pints. Like if you eat ice cream this summer, it will have paid for itself if you do it about 10 to 15 times.
That is true. And think about, like you said, the savings. Like a lot of appliances give you an initial investment, and this one's not even as high. I mean, some people have paid, thousands of dollars for the food processors and things. So this one is actually a very affordable way to get, and I don't know where all has them, but I know even if sometimes they have even where you can split it up, I don't know if they have that sometimes too, where you can pay in increments, but this one
QVC does that a lot.
QVC is awesome about that, actually. Mm-hmm. So that's a great thing to bring up too. And I think QVC is a place, if that's an insurmountable amount of money for you right now, look and see if those payment plans would fit into your budget. For
Or
sure.
do what I do. I love you, Mom. She always asks, "What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas?" And we say, "Oh, can we would like this. If it's too much, don't worry." But she's so sweet, and gets us appliances for Christmas. So I know, like last year, she bought us a I don't even know if it's a brand name, but it like makes the little noodles like
like a spiralizer.
Yeah.
and then the time before that, like a juicer. And so like at Christmas, a food processor. Like I'm getting there with my gadgets so I can get more creative. So now I've got a new one. Hint, hint, just saying.
And it's helpful. Mona was asking if there's a butter pecan. Jill Dalton is contributing her butter pecan recipe, and honestly, I made it, and it is magical. It's made up of things you don't think will go together, but it has the Kathy Hester and Cheryl Purser seal of approval.
Absolutely.
And I just had we had dinner with her last week, and she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I thought it was crazy too, and it wasn't going to turn out, but it's got like apple cider vinegar and nutritional yeast in it, and it makes it perfect." Aw, thank you so much. You guys are so
Appreciate that.
sweet.
Boomer said, yes, but vegan food is always way overpriced and fresh produce is outrageous. We don't have the government funding, hence prices. Omnivores are affected. However, much of their food is funded. That's a good point. So the more we can kind of come up with budget and make it on our own. Oh yeah, she said yay for my mom. I love my mom. She's so sweet. Even when she didn't even understand why I was vegan, she was still very supportive. So I think I've almost got her there. My sister's already eating plant-based, and I know I've already sent her the link for the ebook. So it only took 5 years, but I think she's on board finally. We'll hope.
People come to it in their own time. Look how long it took me. I mean,
Exactly.
It took me years and years. So
Yep. And we and Dawn didn't go vegan at the exact same time. It took her a minute. But, I think being a good role model, but the important thing is what you guys do. I love referring you to people. I don't know if you saw on Facebook, I'm always tagging my mom and my sister, like, look at this recipe, because, like, I think I eat kind of differently even than a lot of like they do. So even to the point where I eat a lot more raw, food. So like anytime I see a good, like hearty plant-based recipe that I know they will enjoy, I love sharing your stuff, because not to mention how like engaging you are and how fun to watch. And I love the way you describe things. So everyone, please go check it out. I think most of the people here already know you, but get over there if you haven't. Order the ebook, please. It is amazing. It's going to be amazing. I already saw it, but I saw those pictures, so I know it's going to be good.
Yeah, I sent you some of the later pictures too. We did like a little sneak peek into it on Friday, so that's on the YouTube channel. I talk again about this and answer some questions, and then near the end I show some photos from the book so you get an idea of a few of the recipes.
There was, I think you mentioned this about the butter pecan, or was that in a different book? Because someone asked that and I totally skipped it.
I mentioned it. Jill Dalton's butter pecan. She's letting us put that one in the book because hers is perfect.
I forgot who asked. I think Michelle said something about that. So yes, she has a version of that coming soon, and you have so many different flavors. Like whatever flavor you could enjoy would be, it sounds like it's included, like especially if you've added more recipes. I love it.
And I'm getting ready to do some templates. So there's going to be like your sorbet and your ice cream and your creamy chino. So that way you'll have like a little template to create your own flavors. Mm-hmm. And again, when you pre-order, you'll get a free class, and we'll be talking about those templates, and you can ask some specific questions that you have about the Ninja Creami. But don't forget, you don't have to wait till then. You can go to healthyslowcooking.com, and there's actually there's a Ninja, and under that there's a troubleshooting. So if you're having some issues, you can look there.
And the link, I just pinned it to the top, the very top, if you scroll up, and I'll also try to copy it and put it again on the bottom of the comments right now. And then it's also in the description to order the new ebook. And Mona said she just bought the book. All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Mona.
you, Mona. You're amazing. I know Dominique said that she already has hers ready to go. Diana Varner, plant-based, has an awesome YouTube too, and she's saying that she had hers already, and that's she was excited to tune in. And someone else was just was it Dominique about the raisin? Like she was already making one, so it's exciting. Everybody that has one is ready for it, and then all of us have a little bit of time here to get one delivered before the book comes out. And you have a special offer, I know, if we pre-order before the 1st, right, or whenever it comes out.
Right, you'll get a free class that's going to be scheduled in June. Hopefully I'll have it scheduled this week, but I'm working 12 to 14 hours. That's why I'm a little behind on everything. That's why we did a video sneak peek instead of me making a mini book, because I knew it would push out the time. And you want the real book. I know you want the real book.
We will wait patiently for you. You guys are amazing.
Well, thank you so much for having us on again. We really appreciate it.
I love it. I love everything you're doing. And don't forget, guys, go look at the book. Go look at her YouTube and her other social media. You will definitely find something there. Everything's in the description. And I can't thank you guys enough for being this busy and to still come on here and share this with, everyone that joined. Thank you, everybody who came in. If there's any, I don't know if I missed a lot of questions, but I know we ran a bit over. So I think we pretty much got them all. If not, leave them in the comments and I'll try to reach out to Kathy if I can't answer it, and Cheryl, and see if they have the answer. And you guys are amazing. Anything you want to say in closing or anything else?
The only thing is, I saw Mona said, is it going to be in ThriveCart? So with this pre-order, the book will stay in ThriveCart. The class may be in a different place than the book. I'm still working out those details. But those of you who buy it through me, through the link right now, like through JJ, all through these links, will be in ThriveCart. Probably in a couple of months, I might put it on Kindle and put it up on Fourth Wall, which then that gets a little more out of my control. So until this pre-sale is over, and probably for the first month, it's going to stay there. Yeah. I recommend buying it this way if you can, just because then it's always there. So in 3 years, when you're like, where's my book? You can go back and download it again. It makes it real easy.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then I think the last thing I wanted to say too is, and I'll also post it for those who sometimes are like me and can't find the description properly. If you're new to YouTube, I'll post it after the video uploads to the comments too. And also, it's just, I don't know, I'm really just thankful. I probably could ramble on forever that you have this book and that you have all these materials. And I love both of you. I love hearing your interaction too, because it like reminds me of our own kitchen.
It's about being married.
Yeah.
Right.
and also remember that if you have any questions for Kathy, or if you have any questions about ThriveCart, or if you're having trouble getting to your account or anything like that, you can always email us at support@healthyslowcooking.com, and that will come to me. And I will answer what I can and then defer to her when I need to. But we'll get all your stuff taken care of.
Yeah, especially if you want questions answered before the book comes out, ask her. And then she'll come in quietly when I'm not in the middle of something.
A dynamic duo, a good team. I love it. I love it.
I can do it without her. Every summer people forget where to log in for the Ninja Creami Experience and all of that. So you guys, if you're not sure, I'm going to try and send out an email again, but people unsubscribe from the email list, so then I can't remind them. So when you unsubscribe, I can't send you any more emails,
right?
Which is fine if that's what you want. But
and also, if you mark something spam that comes from like ThriveCart, then I am noticing that people aren't getting like reset password things and having to put in a different email address because.
So if you're having problems resetting your email, just talk to her and we'll see what we can figure out.
Yeah.
It's tough with a lot of servers, I know, and then you have to deal with the main people over there on how their stuff goes to spam sometimes. So yeah, definitely thanks for sharing that in case we have any issues or anyone here does. And thank you again. I definitely feel just overwhelmed by how thankful I am for all the people that you brought over here. Thank you. I hope to see all of you soon on the next live that Kathy does here. And I want to thank you, Jill. Thank you, Justine, Muriel, Michelle, Mona. Oh, there's just so many. I won't keep you guys here another 10 minutes. Angela, thank you for coming. Roberta, Daphne, Dominique, Raven. I did it again. Now I can't stop. Penny, thank you for joining.
I do the same thing.
I said Raven already. Oh, Joanne, thank you. Dominique, I already said. Denise, I missed you too. Denise, I didn't even read hers, I don't think earlier, but I'll get all your questions over to Cheryl to relay to Kathy if I see something I missed here. Michelle, I know I didn't say you. I think I already mentioned Jill, Cindy, thank you. Everyone, if I missed you, hopefully I said at the beginning, Doll and Kitty Mommy, thank you too, and Mona. Everyone, have a beautiful afternoon and evening. And Kathy and Cheryl, I can't thank you enough for being here.
Well, thank you so much. We'll look forward to hanging out with you again soon.
Yes, I can't wait. Thank you for joining, everyone.